What's shaking? Welcome back to All In. I'm your host, Rick Jordan, and today we're going to talk about this wonderful phrase called I told you so. Before we dive into this, please share this out with 3 people today, and probably 3 people that you might hear this from a lot, this phrase from. I'm just making a joke right now. But yes, those 3 people that you're thinking of, share this out because we don't take promotions, we don't take sponsors. All we do is try to impact people, and you are part of that team to help. And by helping, you are sharing this out for everybody you might know can benefit from this. All right, this phrase, I told you so. I actually despise this phrase. So I'm not coming on to, this isn't a rant or anything about a situation in my life saying that I don't have a story around like somebody who did something and then I told them I told you so, because I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it's counterproductive. I think it doesn't actually allow for forward movements. I feel that it's just some sort of weird ego trip. I don't even know why it's there, because it's like, who cares? If we acknowledge something happened and we can move on in that point and then continue to learn from that and actually allow that to not do it again. People still need to be apologetic, of course, when they mess up. I'm a big fan of that because I love doing that too. I love actually understanding where I went wrong because it allows me to make corrections in the future. But what point does it serve to when you just call somebody out and be like, I told you so? How is that helpful? That's my question today. How is that helpful? So I'm going to give you some things today to actually maybe say instead of this phrase, okay, that'll actually allow collaboration, allow reconciliation, allow forward movements, rather than, because this phrase, this I told you so phrase, almost is like designed to me to keep this person in that moment of just feeling guilty or whatever. And it's typically because the person that says this is like thrusting that on the other person in the moment. I understand this human desire of wanting to make sure that the other person understood that they messed up, but only if it's in a positive, constructive way can I see that as being ethical or justified. And I don't feel that any phrase of I told you so is ethical or justified when it's meant to keep that person in that moment and make them like you better think about this. Your parents ever tell you that? It's like, you better think about what you did. That's just an I told you so in disguise with a mask on it, right? It's the stupidest thing in the world. So I'm going to give you some things today that'll actually help you in these types of conflicts or these types of situations to move past those things and actually give you some reconciliation in those moments too. Whether it's you're the one that messed up or somebody close to you messed up, because this is going to happen. Hey, let's face it. We're all human. We're going to mess up. I mess up a lot, right? This happens and it's okay. Let's look at some ways that you can replace that phrase, I told you so, and watch your relationships around you start to improve when you eliminate that phrase from your speech. All right. The first one I'd like to call kind of like the motivational response. So this is from the position of the individual who maybe called something out, not the person who messed up, but the one who could see something coming or thought something, and then they ended up being right. Okay, there's a phrase I also taught, I also understood and heard a while back too, that you can be right or you can be happy. That's what I'm saying. It's like you can be right or you can move forward. You can be right or you can reconcile. Does it really, really matter to call out that you were right? So this first one, I'm calling the motivational response. And here's something that you could say in this moment. It's like, hey, I know this sucks. And now next time we know that this is not the best way to go about things. It's okay. This is a learning experience. No worries. Let's chalk it up and move on. Isn't that awesome? It's understanding, because this person probably already feels bad and gets down on themselves because they know that they messed up. They do. They don't need you calling it out just to stick it to them with an I told you so. They already probably feel bad enough for what they did. So you coming alongside them and saying this phrase and this motivational response, and then no worries, let's chalk it up and move on. It allows for recognition in the moments that they understand that they messed up. And at this point, maybe they apologize. Maybe there's a need for an apology. That's cool. But then you just move on because now you've created a positive environment to get out of that stuck place and take a different course of action. And you can even do it together. It's awesome. You can even try this next one, which I'm just going to try I'm going to call it the humor response. Okay. It's like, man, that didn't go like we thought. This could be something funny that happened, maybe not serious, but hey, that didn't go like we thought. At least I wasn't videoing you with my phone or something, hashtag JK, just kidding. But come with me. We'll figure this out together. Then you can flip it at the end there, but you can throw a little humor in there too, because some people might feel a little embarrassed, and it's okay you have to understand the human condition, and understand that humor is like in every single freaking part of life. It's okay to laugh at what somebody else did, because if you're doing it from a loving and compassionate place, it is most likely that person whoever did that embarrassing or thing or messed up, that they're going to start laughing with you, because you're saying, you know what, we'll figure this out together. After you made a joke and just saying, thank God I wasn't videoing you. Okay. It's okay, because you're putting yourself on their side of the table right then and there, saying that, you know what, I understand, that was pretty funny, and we can laugh it off together. Let's shrug it off and move on. It's pretty cool. The third one I got for you today, instead of an I told you so, we'll call it the been there response, meaning that you have done something similar, been in a similar situation, and it could go something like this, like, wait, what? Do you think that this is bad, what you did? Do you know how many times I've done even worse? So it's putting yourself on this level playing field with that individual and helping them understand that, you know what, we're all human, we're all going to mess up. And that's okay, because this is for a situation to where maybe it didn't affect you in any way, or really, and this is probably most of them. I'm going to say this out right now. A lot of the I told you so's that come out are in these circumstances to where whatever happened has no life-changing negative impact whatsoever, and that I told you so doesn't even belong there in the first place, because the only reason to say it is to give yourself superiority over that person for no good reason whatsoever. Because I am sure that you have messed up just as bad, if not worse, as them. So have some compassion, and that's what this been there response is. Saying, do you know how many times I've done even worse? All right, we're cool. Let's go get a coffee or something. And the last one to flip this and eliminate the phrase I told you so from your speech, I'm going to call this the political response, okay? Because this could be when it's a situation that might actually have some lasting effects. Let's say it's in your job and you're managing somebody. Let's say it's in a strong relationship and it's actually going to cause maybe some financial hurt or something. Maybe your partner made a choice that wasn't so good with some money. Okay, this is really for those types of scenarios, because this is something that's going to allow faster reconciliation, whereas the I told you so does not even allow for that. It doesn't create space for that. This is to create an environment that allows reconciliation, where you can move past it and deal with the consequences. Okay, this is the political response. You ready? Like, hey, how about next time you want to do something like this? We get maybe some external insight. This was frustrating for both of us, so next time we'll do it together. Is that cool? That's acknowledging that, you know what, this is going to cause something in the moment, but you're still having compassion for their humanity and the reality that yeah, they screwed up, and yes, it affects you, it affects both of you, but you're still looking for the reconciliation in this moment because you still want to get past it. Because remember this, if you don't use these example responses and you throw out an I told you so, that also keeps you stuck in that moment too. Is that something you want? I would hope not. So do this today. Start to make a conscious effort. I gave you 4 examples. I'm sure you can come up with some more, but eliminate I told you so from your speech forever.